The fall makeup looks are in season. So it's a Victoria's Secret fashion show. I'm gonna go ahead and take you from this to this. I'm going to show you exactly how to go ahead and get this Victoria's Secret look that I like to call the Earth Angel. Let's go ahead and get into it. Our all-in-one custom makeup palette. I already have all the colors set and ready to go, so we're just going to get right into it. I'm going to actually start doing the application with just the brush method and just go ahead and put the dots on. I'm using the multitasker brush. I've already done my skin prep. You can see how like glowy my skin is. I have oily skin. It's a controlled oily skin, meaning it's very well balanced. Cream makeup will still work for you if you have oily skin. I'm going to go in with these two colors here on the end. These are my brightening highlight colors. I love to mix my colors whenever I'm doing my makeup. I think that it gives me a more true of a balance. That's why I love 3D foundation. This is what that is, 3D foundation. If you haven't been color matched, you can either comment match on this video that you're watching, or you can go ahead and head to my profile. You should be able to go ahead and see the link to go ahead and do a color match. It should be in the description as well. I'm putting the brightening highlight on. Typically it would go down the center of the nose right here. My nose is pretty much already done, so I really don't want to mess that up too much. I guess I could just put a tiny bit. We'll just do a tiny bit there. Brightening highlight, inner corner, outer corner, and then the center of the forehead, and then here above the cupid's bow, underneath the nose, and then the center of the chin. You don't need a crap ton of makeup when you're putting this makeup on. Next, I'm going to go ahead and with my main highlights here, these two colors, I kind of bounce in between them because I did get a little bit of a tan. I'm going to go ahead and apply it going across the bottom. Let me grab a little bit of the darker color and go across the bottom. And then across the top of the lip, just underneath the cheekbone. And then I can apply some on like the apples of the cheeks, and then right here on the forehead. This is where the main highlight typically goes on the face whenever you are applying it. I just put dots on, so I'm doing the dot method, not the brush method. We'll blend everything out. With the dot method, I have more control over what I'm putting on. I'm using the multitasker brush, so it's going to deposit more color because it's not a fluffy brush. It's a dense brush. And then I'll blend it out, okay? Now the contour, I'm going to go ahead and place my contour, which my contour is here. I'm going to just place it on the forehead and come across the tops of the forehead. I'm just going to do a line like that. And then above the hollow of the cheek. So it's going to seem like it's a little too high. You want it high because when you blend it out, it's actually going to drop. The nose contour, my nose is already contoured. You would just do a little bit of a nose contour on the left and the right side of the bridge. I like to angle the tip like this. You can shade the nostrils if your nostrils are kind of wide. You do want to scoop that into your eye line and follow your occipital bone. That's typically like universal general for whenever you're doing your makeup. We're going to blend it out. I'm going to go in and use the Charlotte Tilbury and blend with it. I'm going to use the 4-in-1 Pilot brush. This brush has it's a 4 brush. It's 4 brushes. There's 2 little ones inside. We're just going to blend out with this one. I think that when you use this one, you get a pretty good coverage. I'm just going to spray my brush. It's going to help blend out the makeup a little bit better. I'm just going to start to tap and bounce and blend from light to dark. So you don't want to saturate your brush too much. If you saturate the brush too much, then it's too wet. So you just want to have a light little spray. And I'm just going to tap and blend like that. I'm just worried about, I'll switch to the other end, about the lightest colors first. So basically leave the contour for last. And then what I'm going to do once I have this on is any place that needs a little bit more product or a little bit more coverage, then I'll go in and add a little bit more. Because this cream is so forgiving, it is buildable, and it does give really great coverage. you can do that without it looking uneven. I'm going to go in and tap and sweep my contour going back. As you can see, this is what's going to give me that really pretty base that looks like skin. On the runway for Victoria's Secret this year, pretty much like every year, definitely this year, it looked like skin. I did really like that. They wanted the girls to breathe, their skin look like it was glowing and breathing from within, not look heavy, look very airy, very angel-like. Hence the angel makeup. We're doing an earth, I call it earth angel look. When I look at my face, if there's anything on my face that I want to give a little bit more attention to or coverage, I can do that now. Because this is, to me, is the best way to get the coverage where I want it and not have a whole bunch of caked up makeup all over the place. So I'm going to add a little bit more around the eye area, and then I'll just brush it in the other areas where the brightening highlight goes. And then anywhere where I need a little bit more of the main highlight, I can push it and put it there without being like super, super crazy looking. Same thing with contour. I can just go in and add a little bit of more contour if I want where I want it to go to blend it out, which I want just a little bit there, and then go on with the same brush and just kind of blend it out. Remember, your custom colors with your 3D foundation is meant to do this. You see how everything looks so pretty, it looks so even. This is what it's meant to do. You see how it naturally gives a pretty under eye, and it looks like a very elegant looking under eye. Everything just looks like it blends really well. This is what 3D foundation does. So if you need a color match, just comment match on any of my profiles or head to my profile or description for the match details so I can go ahead and color match you. If you like a true heavy coverage, you want people to know you got makeup, you want to transform, this is not for you. That's okay. That's okay. Moving on, we're going to go ahead and I think I'm going to just jump straight to the eyes. Now, I'm typically one that likes to do my eyes after I do my base. That's not because it's any specific reason. It's usually because I haven't figured out what I want to do with my eyeshadow look yet. It gives me time to think. Also, I've gotten pretty good at doing my makeup to the point where I can just wait to do it till then. If you can't and you're get eyeshadow everywhere, then that's fine. Just go ahead and do your eyeshadow first and then do your base. I typically do pretty well and just tap off the excess. So all I did was take a little bit of my brightening highlight and put it over my eye and pressed it in. Now before it goes and tries to crease, I'm going to take a little bit of powder. I'm just going to use my translucent powder that's in here. Tap off the excess. Then I'm going to go ahead and set that. So then I don't have to worry about that creasing. I set it, it's going to be nice and smooth. If I want to take a little bit under the eye, I can because I'm using the brush. Mainly because I already just kind of, let me get this brush. Because I already pressed it down, it's set and ready to go. So I don't have to really worry about it creasing. So if you're going to do that, go ahead and set it first with some translucent powder. Then you don't have to worry about it creasing, your eyes creasing. Let's go into the second side of the palette. So when I open it up, I have my blush, lipstick, I have a bronzer back here, and some eyeshadows that we're going to actually use today. I'm going to go in with Blondie. It's this color right in here. It's like a gold. I am going to put it on with my finger because it gives you better color payoff when you do it like that. Look how pretty that is. Ooh la la. It looks really good. I'm really like pressing it up into the hood of the eye or the brow bone right in here, the eye casing. I'm pressing it all the way up into there because it's going to end up getting blended out. That is Blondie. I love this color right here. I love that color. We're going to go ahead and jump into, I'm going to use the bright brush. This is the bright brush. And this brush does really good. This is like one of my favorite brushes between the bright and the spot brush. They're my favorite brushes to use for eyeshadows. Okay. I'm going to take the color Butterscotch, which Butterscotch is right here, this shade here. I'm going to tap off the excess and then kind of go along either the hood or the occipital bone area right in here, kind of just like dust. All I'm doing is it's basically contouring the eye and giving it shape. Make sure you tap off the excess and a little bit of dimension. Because I love this color so much and it works really good with my nose contour and stuff, I usually do go ahead and brush it down into my nose line. Contour my nose with it. I just blend that just a tiny bit, not too much to where it shows up, just like that it's very bold when it shows up. Just kind of dust it like that. It'll get softer because you can see how when I did it on this side, you can barely see it, but it is there. It'll end up getting even softer. We have that on. Let's go ahead and take that same color and put it underneath. Tap off the excess so you don't get fallout. And I'll put that same color underneath just to give a little bit of shape and definition to the eye for our Earth Angel makeup look. These two colors are what we're going to use next. Now, I am going to use a card when I do this because it just makes it go faster. Those are the two colors I'm going to be tapping into and tapping off the excess. I'm just going to take like a business card and take this business card and put it in my eye angle. And then I'm going to go ahead and tap and sweep inward this color, these two colors like this. Zion and Philly. I'm just like kind of tapping and sweeping those two colors in. When I take the card away, it already gives that angle. I'm going to take those same two colors, Zion and Philly, and take them underneath the eye line like this. I don't want it to be really, really harsh. So I'm going to wipe off the brush and then kind of sweep it going up like that. Because they all had this very lifted eye look for the runway show. To clean up underneath, you see how it kind of bulked out right there? Don't worry about it. If your underneath is not super clean, you can clean it up. Either you can take the brush and use the pilot brush, the big end that you went under the eye with, or use the smaller end. I would prefer to use the smaller end, make sure it's clean. Mix a little bit of one of your lighter highlights with a darker highlight, like a brightening and a main highlight together. And then you can go in and clean it up. And then once you have it on pretty much where you want to clean up at, then go and tap and blend it out. And then it looks like that. I'm going to use the Benefits roller liner. I like this one. I like it a lot. I'm doing a very, very tiny wing. So I literally just flick like that and then connect it, but it's very thin. See how like thin that is? You want to keep it very, very thin. Just trust the process. Only do a little bit of a flick whenever you do it. And then you can go ahead and connect it. It should not be thick at all. You should just be using the very tip of it. If you feel like you're pressing, you're doing it wrong. I love the felt pen of this one. I just don't feel a need to buy another one until that runs out. Then I'll probably test out a different one. Let's do a little bit of blush because the blush was really important. So if I go into the second side of my palette, I do have a bronzer here. So this bronzer right here is Heat Wave bronzer. We went in a little bit with Pink Grapefruit, which is this one here. I'm going to tap, and this bronzer, it has a little bit of burgundy in it, if I want to say. Pink Grapefruit to pull that pink. I did use a little bit of Madrid because Madrid has the peach, and I just put that in the front and then blend it out. When I blend it, I'm going to go ahead and use this brush here, tap and blend it going up. I don't want it to be like super, super like pink. That's why I pulled the peach. And then we need that burgundy because to me, this is like an earth angel look. But it does have a little bit of pink in it. It's not super pink. So you see how we have line, line, line. You have to blend that out. The brush that you use to go underneath your eyes with, you don't need to put any more product on top of it. Just blend it out and tap. It'll soften and like blend out itself. You don't have to keep on adding product after product after product. It's like end up being a lot. We're blending, just tapping and blending these colors. I love that I can do it just with basically one palette and not a whole bunch of other stuff. We have the blushes on. I do want to go ahead and clean up the blush line before I do. Let's do bronzer first, actually, because I want to do all my cream stuff out of the way. So I'm going to go in with this color here as my bronzer in High Tide and use the blush and bronzer brush. I'm just going to add a little bit of, a little bit of bronzer. Bronzer is meant to warm up the face. I do a little bit across my nose and my chin. Just like a teeny tiny, like this whole, like, that whole wing is just like in your face. If you don't like it to be wingy, it's fine. Just don't accentuate and blend upward. That's what they did. That's what they did for the Victoria's Secret show. I was like, oh, girl. We're going to go ahead and do the lips. I'm going to go back to the multitasker brush, take a little bit of my contour and line my lips with so we can get these lips out of the way. And then go to the second side and use that Heat Wave bronzer and Pink Grapefruit because this is Earth Angel. This is not the regular angel makeup look. It was very mauvey, had a little bit of pink and burgundy in it. Oh, so cute. I did top it off with the Fenty. So this is the Fenty. You can see the iridescent in this. Of course it is. It's called Hot Chocolate. This is the gloss that I chose to go ahead and put on the top because it was very earthy and very like mauvey and earthy. Now we're gonna go in and do a little bit of layering. Why I love this cream, because depending on what brush you're using, you can get the type of coverage that you want. The fluffier the brush, the lighter the coverage, the denser the brush, a more compact together, the more fuller of a coverage that you're going to get. When you want your makeup to look really pretty, you don't want it to look heavy or be heavy or definitely feel heavy. You're not going to get that with this makeup. However, it's learning to work in layers. So when you set, a lot of people are setting their makeup wrong. You need to set with powders, not just translucent and finishing powders. Set with eyeshadows, set with powder blushes, set with powder bronzers. That's what we're about to do. I'm going to use, this is the Charlotte Tilbury Cheek to Chic. We're going to use this color right here. And I'm going to set my blush, my cream blush with this. Just a tiny bit. Oh, wrong side. What side is it? It's this side. I'm going to set with this. It's very close to what I was already doing and creating. And make sure I don't have any lines of demarcation. I just flip between brushes. And this is what is going to not only just make your makeup look really soft, but it's also going to make it look more polished and make it look smooth. We have the Dibs brand. This, I love. This is so good. This color is in Spice Chai. I'm just going to use the same blush and bronzer brush that I used, tap off the excess, and then go in and kind of set that bronzer in place. Remember, my bronzer, you might be like, I can't really see it. Bronzer to me, it's not really meant to be seen. It's just meant to just give a little bit of a boost. If you could see your bronzer, I'm like, you have too much bronzer on. Way too much bronzer on. Look how pretty. This is even before powder. Okay. And then I did forget one color for the eyes. I don't know how I forgot this. Crush, which is this color right here. I'm going to use that on the inner corner. I'm just going to use my pinky. Make sure your hands are clean. This is what I use on the inner corner. Blend it with Blondie and then ran it underneath just a little bit. I think that some people, when they're using inner corner colors, they're choosing ones that have too much silver in it, or it's just not, or it's almost too white or too pearly. No, try to get colors that are more like in between, a soft gold or a soft rose gold or a soft peach for the inner corner. It looks so much better. It just pulls off the whole eye look a lot better too. We put that on because I was like, I'm missing something on my eyeballs. We're gonna go in with the Danessa Merrick. This little ball inside, I love it. Because I've been trying to get people to shake their setting spray for the longest time and have them understand the importance of shaking all of their products, makeup and skincare, everything. So we're gonna use this setting spray. Let me close my mouth. And then we're gonna let it dry. The Earth Angel look is coming together. What I love about this is it's the Yummy Skin, it's the blurring and mattifying setting spray. I'm gonna test out the other one this week. There's another one I'm gonna test out. I've been using it and I love it. I set with my translucent powder after. I've already set my makeup as far as my bronzer, my blush with powder bronzer and powder blushes, or you can set, a lot of times you'll see me set with my eyeshadows too. Now I'll go ahead and set with my translucent. So I'll set with my translucent after. I am going to use a brush. I'm going to use this brush right here. This is the blend brush. It's a very light and fluffy brush. I'm going to tap my powder into the lid. Remember, anything, a lot of stuff that you guys are looking for is on my Instagram and my highlight bubbles. Especially those, oh my gosh, where's that one? It's usually there. I'll put it in the description too whenever I post it. Tap off the excess, and then I'm just gonna run it. My hair must be growing because look where my hair broke off. I can't get it to lay down. I just can't take it off. We're gonna go ahead and set. I mainly just worry about where I get oily first to the highlight. I'm just gonna go right here. I usually don't go right under my eye and set. That's too much powder. And then that's when you're like, oh, I'm creasing. You put all that powder under your eyeball. You are not 20 years old. What are you doing? I go here because I know I get oily right here. I'll hit my chin, my forehead, and then I'll start turning the brush. And then I'll go under my eye. Usually that's more than enough to go ahead and set it. Remember, I already kind of set under my eye when I set my eyelid because I put highlight on my brightening highlight on my eye as my base, and then I set it right away. So it's kind of already set. Plus my under eyes are really hydrated with skincare and skin prep, so I really don't have a lot of under eye creasing because I'm always setting that really well. Then I just go back and look at my face to see where I want to add a little bit more and blend up. I still got to do my eyebrow. And then I can add a little bit bronzer. And I like to go back in and kind of just tap through, especially after I add translucent powder or whatever powder that you're using, because you can make sure that everything's really nice and blended and looks really soft. That it does. I'm going to take the Benefits roller liner again. My little beauty mark gets covered up. I like it, so I'm just going to go back and draw it back on, and then it's back. I kind of do it, try to do it lightly so it doesn't look crazy. And then my eyebrows, y'all know my eyebrows are thick. They're tattooed. I'm going to go in with the Urban Decay Brow Blade. This is the old packaging. I'm still using it. I'm going to use the crayon side today. If you go and get it, it has new packaging. That's all. It works exactly the same. It has a felt pen side and then it has the crayon side. I'm going to use the crayon side today and just do little brow strokes just to kind of fill in the brows. No, I really don't need to. I just do fill them in just kind of a little bit. I don't sculpt. I never sculpt my eyebrows or do any of that stuff because I've had my eyebrows microbladed, so I don't have to do that. I used to spend so much time trying to do my eyebrows and carving them out and doing. I'm not doing that no more. You would say, you finished, it looks so beautiful. I have one more element besides the mascara. That is Illuminator. I'm going to go in with these two. This is Honey and Glow Illuminator that's in my palette. Mix these together. It's, oh, it's so luminous. I'm going to put it right here and watch. Whew, child, don't talk to me. It's just lovely. Look how pretty that is. I just mix honey and glow illuminator together, and then just like kind of tap that on, tap it out. You can put it down the bridge of your nose if you want to, across the tip. You can do your brow bone. I'm not doing the brow bone today like I did in the other look. That looks good. The other thing that I did forget, I did want to sculpt out my cheek line. I'll take a little bit of one of my darker highlights. And if your blush ever just doesn't look like you got the angle the way that you wanted it to go, you can take a little bit of your highlights, preferably a darker one. Don't go too light because then you might be walk around looking like Ashy Larry. And then blend it out. And then that way you can move your cheek line to the way that you want it, especially if you over blended it too much, because sometimes that does happen. There. And then you can get that really pretty angle that you actually do want to be able to have. That's it. Let me put some mascara on. I'm going to use the Be Brave Celeste one, and then I'm going to go in with that new Charlotte Tilbury, that one here, the new one that looks like this. I'm going to go in with the Be Brave first, and then go on with the Charlotte Tilbury. I do not put on false lashes or wear false lashes or do any of that. I use a lash serum. It's on my IG and my highlight bubbles. I'll also make sure I put it in the description too, because then you can get 20% off of the lash serum. This one actually works really well. It doesn't burn. I've tested out I don't know how many. This one I do love, because I literally ripped all my eyelashes out, y'all, whenever I was trying to be cute. I'm just gonna go in right away with the Charlotte Tilbury one. Usually I'll let it dry down just a little one. I love these brushes. The brushes, people just don't understand how important brushes are. All brushes are not created equally. They're not. And that's because the fibers of brushes are different. Certain ones work well with certain products, like the ingredients in products, what I'm saying. That's why with the 3D foundation, the custom compact, it has its own specific brushes. There, it's on. It's on. It's on. Victoria's Secret Fashion Show 2025. To me, there were a couple different looks. There's one more look that I definitely do want to do that's more on the gold side that I was seeing. But this is the Earth Angel. So she is still pink, but more like mauve, burgundy, every day. This is that look. I will put everything down in the description for you guys down below. Let me know what you think of my interpretation of the Earth Angel makeup look for this year's Victoria's Secret fashion show for 2025. I'm telling you, go ahead and either comment down below to go ahead and get a custom makeup palette, or go ahead down to the description. You can hit the link there. Let me know what you want to see next. Stay tuned. I am going to go ahead and do another Victoria's Secret fashion show makeup look this week as well, because there was one more look that I was seeing on this stage. We're going to get into the golds. I'll see you in the next one.